Hello folks, welcome back to GingerLion's Minecraft Modded Spotlight. Here's actually episode 12. I think last episode I told you the episode number wrong. And I'm getting ready to make myself a ender quarry, which I had discussed before as being something that I really wanted to own and try out. Now, it's a pretty expensive recipe. If you look at what's in my inventory right now, including the diamonds and the books and the gold and the wood and all of this stuff, except perhaps some of this wood, all of this is going to be necessary in the process of making the ender quarry. Just a moment. The recipe, like I had said, is pretty complicated. The hardest thing for me to make is going to be these enchanted bookshelves. And yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about making them, but I did learn a trick just a couple of minutes ago that made me very happy, which might make this whole process a lot easier. And that's this. There's a new recipe available for the book, which is 3 paper, a string, and some blank patterns from Tinker's Construct, which effectively are made of planks and sticks. So I used up all of the string that I had, and I really don't mind killing spiders for string. For me, it's a lot better than going out there and hunting cows. So I'm gonna stop hunting cows to the best of my abilities. I had to do it last time to get some leather, but apparently now I don't need leather for books. That makes me very happy. So the first complication in the process of making this is that these ender cores require magical wood, which require enchanted books. To make enchanted books, I need an enchanting table. So let's go ahead and make one. An enchanting table, the recipe is like this. I've included that in the resources that I need right now to make this whole routine. And normally one would need to put down an enchanting table in a place where there are a whole bunch of bookshelves around. But I am perfectly happy using level 1 enchants on these books. And if I'm correct, I need 32 enchanted books. So I am going to go off camera and make myself as many enchanted books as I can fit in my inventory, and then I'm going to put some away and I'm going to come back and make some more. So I'm going to go off camera and make these books, and I'll be right back. Okay folks, so I've got an inventory full and part of this chest full, and I'm ready to get started. Now, I made as low a level enchants as possible, and that's just fine for these purposes. So, let's go ahead and make the bookshelves that I need for this process. That'll clear up a little space in my inventory, and let's turn those bookshelves into enchanted wood. Doesn't look like it's going to do that for us. So, what's the recipe for this enchanted wood? Bookshelves, gold. Okay. I'm going to put these 8 and 8 and 8. And then I'm just going to toss books in here and make enchanted wood out of them. Sometimes you have to do this stuff manually. I try to make things as quickly as possible, both because I know it's a little boring to just sit and watch someone make things in Minecraft, and because, well, these episodes can get extraordinarily long if I don't take the effort to make sure that they don't. So, again, one of the nicest things about the crafting station from Tinker's Construct, I can leave the rest of this materials in here, come back over here and pick up the rest of these books. And when I get out back, all of it's still here and ready for me to do the rest of my work with. So, let me finish this up. Only a couple more. You notice if you look at my experience bar down at the bottom of the screen, I don't even have enough experience to make another single book. So I happened to get just dead on. Otherwise, I would have waited for nighttime and gone and did a little hunting off camera, just because I would want to get this done as quickly as possible on screen. So there's the magical wood. Now, what's the next step in making these ender cores? I need to make eyes of ender. So I need 2 of these magical cores, so I'm going to make 2 eyes of ender. I happen to know that I'm going to need 1 more for another piece of this, so I'm just going to go ahead and make all 3. Now, ender core, needs ender-infused obsidian. Now, I need 2 of these, so I need 2 of these recipes. And I'm probably going to come back and make some more of those in a little while. That's just fine. There are my 2 ender cores. What's next? Well, next are ender-thermic pumps, and we've made these already, so I'll go through them really quick. We need 2 more of those. And again, it's not going to do it. So, corners, Eye of Enders go in the middle. I may need a little bit more Eye of Ender. And iron picks, lava and water. Water, lava, iron pick, and finally, diamond. Of course it's a diamond. There's 1 of them. Let me put the water and lava back in. And let me go get what I need to make 1 more. Eye of Ender. So that's this and this. So let's go back over here. Bing, bang, boom, make. I've already got all this stuff in the inventory, but that's a recipe. Where did my blaze powder go? That's unfortunate. I see what happened. It got merged with my existing recipe. This is a recipe that could just be made in my handcrafting grid, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I put this in the middle, and put a diamond up top, and I end up with my second ender-thermic pump. That's the ender cores and the ender-thermic pumps. That's this and this. Now I need this thing in the middle. I'm going to need to go burn some quartz and make some more ender-infused obsidian. So let me make another batch of ender-infused obsidian, because I need 4 anyway. Now, what is this burned quartz? Well, a normal quartz block tossed in a furnace or in one of my redstone furnaces will do just fine. And that's shaped like this. So if I go, whoop, there's 4 of these, take them downstairs, and toss them in one of these furnaces. Now, because I want to get this in my hand as quickly as possible, I'm going to turn that off and just cook these 4. The reason I turn this off is then it's not sent into my sorting system. What I have to remember is as soon as I'm done making this, to turn this back on, otherwise this one furnace will get clogged up because nothing will leave. So, there we are. It's reconnected. Now I have my burnt quartz blocks. What's next? Well, over here, bing, this. I have all the rest of these things, right? There's my diamond etched computational matrix. Now, I need 1 sapling, 1 diamond pickaxe, 1 computational matrix, 1 ender-thermic pump each, 1 ender core each, and 1 ender-infused obsidian each, and now I have my first ender quarry. Nice. Now, I need a bunch of fence, and fence is made from nothing but sticks. So, I happen to have a bunch of sticks already available, but I'm probably going to use up all the sticks that I have. I already used up all the sticks that I had, so let me make a lot of sticks, because I intend to start this process running on a particularly large neighborhood. What is it that I'm doing here? Well, when you set up an ender quarry, it's very much different than having set up the quarry that you saw me set up for mining a hole under my house, and it acts very differently. So, let me go ahead and make as much fence as I can. Let's see, 64, 64, and 58. That ought to be enough neighborhood. Now, how is an ender quarry different than the quarry that we saw before? I vaguely explained this, but now you've seen a lot of these processes, so I'm going to explain it again. The ender quarry, when set up, mines top to bottom instead of mining. Let me show you upstairs. It'll be easy. Instead of mining this block, and then this block, and then this block, and this entire line, and then this entire line, and back and forth in a zigzag pattern on this layer, and then going to the next layer down, which is what a Buildcraft quarry does. An Ender quarry starts here and checks all the way down to bedrock, one block at a time. And anything that it finds that it counts as an ore, it replaces with sand and ejects it out the top. Again, that creates almost no lag. It creates a relatively clean looking neighborhood. It doesn't disrupt my nice pretty terrain, but it gets all the ores out. And then it moves to here. And then it moves to here. And because it's designed, let me turn this chunk border on, because it's designed to be chunk efficient, it's going to stop right here and move to here and work its way down, only staying within one chunk. And once it cleans up this entire chunk, it'll move to another one. That way, it's only got this chunk loaded and whatever chunk it's sitting in. So it is extremely efficient processor-wise, both because it only loads 2 chunks and because it doesn't create any water updates or any giant holes in the ground or any of the rest of that stuff. So I really, really look forward to using this. This will be my first time. Let me collect together all the other things that I'm going to need to have in hand before I can go set this up, and we'll find a good place to set it up. Hi there, folks. So I decided to do what I consider to be a little bit of a test for this quarry, because I don't know exactly what it processes and what it doesn't. I'm going to include this here monument, or whatever they call it, in the chunk. I'm going to include sand. I'm going to include quicksand. I'm going to see if I can run this across this chunk of water. I'm going to set it up. So what I need to do is draw a fence line across all of this, and all of the fences have to be connected. So I'm going to set out to draw that, and I'll be back when it's time to set up the quarry. Okay, folks, so night's falling, so I want to get this done. So I drew out a rectangular chunk boundary, and I've determined that if I put the device right here, everything should work. So let's do this really quick. Ender quarry, in place. Fence boundary stops somewhere. 664 6685 8685 60. Oh, right here. Okay, let's go check what it says now. It looks like I'm going to be out a little bit into the night. A little nervous making. 6550. I'm going to look at my fence. Where was that again? 678 6550. 678 50. Six, 7, 8, which is over here. 50. Oh yes, this is where there was an aura node. I guess I'm going to have to break that aura node, which makes me sad, but that's life. I apparently need my pickaxe. Isn't it nice that the fence keeps the zombies in? That pleases me to no end. I'm about to get attacked from behind by a spider. I just have this feeling. There we go. Well, there was that. Had to destroy an aura node. That's life. Let's go over here and see what it says now. 678, 64, 52. Okay, so that's this. I need land to break fence reasonably. Sword time. Okay, let's try this again. Successfully established boundary. Good. That's what I like to hear. Now, I'm going to need these tools very quickly. I'm going to need this ender chest. I'm going to need this. And I'm probably going to need my wrench. But let's just try to do this as fast as we can and see if it works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the maximum number that can produce power for this type of duct still. Put this on top. Flip it to blue. Those all turn on. This gets power. And this... See, there's that spider I was telling you about. Come here, Mr. Spider. I just used up all of your friend's string, and that makes me sad. So, I now need to place this ender chest on top, and it says it's mining. So now let's go see. Now, see this particle effect? That indicates that it is mining that location. Let me get a little higher up in the air so that I'm not at quite as much at risk. I'd like to be close enough to see that particle effect, and open up my ender pouch and see what goes on in here. You'll notice there are blocks appearing. Some of them are cobblestone, some of them are earth shards. I'm not 100% sure why it's mining cobblestone. I thought that was something that it didn't mine. But either way, I am perfectly fine with that. It clearly is functioning. It acts as its own chunk loader, and it will very cautiously extract everything except the surface. So, time for me to head back to base and see how well it's working. I'll meet you there. There we are, folks. That quarry is clearly producing a huge amount of materials, including cobblestone, which is fine. I thought it wouldn't produce that, but obviously it does. And it's feeding it all into this ender chest, which is processing all of it. And since I can use that for my own purposes as well, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I had a piece of my base get blown up by a creeper, but that's okay. In the morning, when it's not such an issue, I will go outside and repair it. It was a relatively small piece of damage, as it were. It looks like it stole my wrench on accident. Nope, it gave it right back to me. That was clearly a visual glitch. So, as you can see, there's lots of stuff being processed. Most of it's cobblestone, but I'm fine with that. I'm willing to bet that what's happening is it's running into actual cobblestone in the world, perhaps at some location where lava and water are interacting. But either way, I have a process that, at the moment, all of this cobblestone is great because my resources were getting low, and after that it'll throw them away. I'm willing to bet that most of what it's tossing in here is dirt at the moment because we're completely full. So, I'm going to let that run for a little while, and then I'm going to go do a little exploratory excavation, perhaps. I'm not sure quite what's next. I'll be back in a couple minutes, and I'll let you know. Okay, folks, so I came and checked, and it looks like it replaces literally everything that's a solid block with dirt. So, A, this is a great way to produce lots of dirt. B, clearly there are locations where, for example, there was already a gap. It left that gap there. I didn't clear that out. I just cleared straight down. So, yes, it replaces stone, but it does not replace dirt. And in fact, it fills in all the locations with dirt. Seems to me that that's a great idea. And makes the ground look a lot prettier. If you go digging in one of these areas, you'll probably find yourself a lot of dirt and nothing else. If you go digging into an area and find all dirt, and you're on a server where someone has been using one of these, you probably just entered an area where an ender quarry was active, and all should be well. I'm very interested to see what happens when it finally moves on to one of these blocks that has sand in it, but it might be a little while before it gets there, so we'll find out. Actually, I've got a way of finding out. Let's go ahead and put some sand on top of the grass on these blocks. And it's on this block right now, so it's probably going to hit one of these very soon. Yep, apparently that one. What's the chunk boundary? Okay, so it's going to stay within this chunk. That's okay. So, yeah, it's going to finish this line and that line before it goes anywhere. So, it just finished this. I can take the dirt off the surface. That was kind of unnecessary, apparently. But it's going to do one of those soon, and we'll know very quickly whether or not it hits sand. Where did it go? I do not see a marker. Well, let's go check these chunks around here. Does it say where it's mining? 176, 70, 46. 176, 70, 46. There it is. It's mining right there. Did it just change chunk boundaries? Nope, still in this chunk. Okay. Yep, it replaces sand. So this entire area is going to end up being marked as a desert biome, but filled with dirt. That's fine by me, and I'll get a large collection of sand. What that means to me is there's a lot of sand about to show up at my base, and I better make preparations for it. I'll see you back there, folks. Well, it turns out that there was already a barrel set up here for that, so I'm perfectly safe in that direction. What I don't have is, for example, I had taken all of the string. I don't have a good place to put fences, and it looks like I'm collecting rubies now and don't have a place to put them. So I'm going to put rubies in this chest. I'm going to go here and mob drops and toss this in there. Let's see. That's a food chest. I'm going to take this chest and turn it into vague and general building-ish supplies. So, this is, when you have a system like this set up, this is the sort of babysitting that you need to do. For example, here is sandstone. We're about to carve through a desert. There's going to be a lot of sandstone. Why don't I put the sandstone in here with the building materials? That makes a lot of sense. So, now we have a place to put the sandstone. Because that chest is set on a polymorphic item sink, all the sandstone will end up in here instead of in my overflow chest. So occasionally you have to go to your overflow chest and do a little bit of time trying to figure out exactly where things go, because the network may not know. And that's fine. I have zero difficulty with that. In fact, I'm going to change my mind about this raw chicken, and I'm going to take it over here and add it to my food chest, even though it's not cooked. So, now, I've established a system for sorting this all out. I'm going to let it go for a little while, and we'll see what we come up with. While I'm waiting for that to process, I decided on a little project. I realized as I got here that abandoned homes feel old. That's sad. This just feels like a little bit of a sad place right now, because there's nobody, and there's nothing going on except these pistons, which are continuing to do their job. And that's nice. I'll drop that in here. And I think it's time for me to disassemble this, because I'm going to need it in my new place, and it's best it be in a chest. So, first thing I want is my crescent hammer. This is why I set this system up, because I didn't realize I wanted my crescent hammer until I got here. But now I have it. There we go. There are those items removed. On this side, and there's one more over here, and when whacked with a wrench they come up easy. So let's go ahead, and I don't want that on there. Break that, and this. Just generally start tearing this up so that I can transport it to somewhere else. Now, one layer at a time, remove all these pieces. This can be reassembled just as, or disassembled very easily. All of the pieces remain exactly what they are. They don't take damage from being disassembled, which means that if you need to move it, like I'm doing right now, it's simply a matter of picking it up and moving it around. You'll notice the seared tank, still a sealed tank. The smeltery controller, still a smeltery controller. All these, they make glass breaking noises, but they drop just like they are. All is well. There's no problems related to that. So, these bricks, when tossed into my ender pouch, will all get shipped across, and I'll have them available the moment I want them. So, there's my hardened tanks and my fluid ducts and all the various pieces of my smeltery ready for use whenever I want them. Now, on to what I had originally come down here for. If you'll note, right here, I am pretty close to my basement. And this is where my portal to the nether is. And so I was trying to decide between making a portal to the nether and not. And I realized that right here is an opening through into my basement. And it needs a little cleaning up. And of course some, doorways for security purposes and all of the rest of that. But there we are. There is a quick and easy entrance to my base. Now I'm going to block it off just like this so that when I get home I can very easily put together the things I need for this sort of entranceway. And now for the initial reason that I actually came in here, I wanted to go show you all the effects of my nether lava pumping process, because it's been running for a while, and so now it ought to be very clear what the effects are. Back into firebat form. Again, the advantage of firebat form is it's fireproof. That means the fireballs won't kill me. Dipping in lava, should it happen, won't kill me. They may be frustrating, those things, but they are not lethal in the way that they would be were I say in bat form, because bats take damage pretty easily. So you see this? This right here, both cobble and not, is the effect of this ender pump working its way through these various chunks. And I'm going to do something that normally I couldn't do. Oh, I guess I'm in bat form, not fire bat form. That was a big mistake that may very well... Nope, didn't kill me. Got close though. Okay, now into the water. You'll notice that this is a stone wall that goes all the way down to block level 23 or 24. Every single one of these blocks has been removed and replaced with cobblestone or stone. Nice and square, all the way up to the surface. That's what these do, and that's effectively what the Ender quarry that we're running, made by the same person, is doing. It's just doing it with dirt instead of stone. And here we are, an example. Oh no, that's tainted soil. Never mind. So yeah, this is the effect of that particular process, and I think it's pretty spectacular. I wanted to make sure you'd all seen it once or twice, because I think it's one of the better mechanics that's been added recently in these mods. Extra Utilities, I believe. Yes, Extra Utilities is the one who added this, and it's great. Now let me just pull up chunk boundaries so that you can see. If you'll see where that grid line is? Right there, and right there, and right there. It is literally starting with this chunk that it's in, so that it only has to load one chunk, and removing all of this. And once it's done, it will move on to those chunks out there. So we have a lot of lava available, and it'll be available for a very long time. Turn this back off, and make my way back home. Just wanted to come out here and take a look at it, check on things, make sure all was well, and show you guys how it all looked. I'm also seriously considering sometime soon coming here into the nether and installing that ender quarry, because why should it only be used on the upper world? That doesn't seem right. I would much prefer to try using it in here and see if it collects me a whole bunch of wonderful ores and whatnot. Now, I'm clearly lost again. Nether home, that way. There it is. See, I was right around the corner, and I thought I was lost. There I go. Boom. That was a fireball shot at me. That's why I come in this entrance. There's a lot of these netherrack bricks between me and my base, should fireballs be spit. Because fireballs will destroy cobblestone, and then my base would suddenly be exposed to the outside world and exposed to fireballs, which was the reason I built it in the first place, so that I wasn't exposed to such things when I came into this world. And there we are. Now, since I have the opportunity, I'm going to go exploring down my stairwell here and see what exactly got cut off in the process. And I'm pretty sure what I'm going to find is right there. Yep, see right here is a wall, and that's the edge of my basement. And if I follow this out a ways, every time I look over that way, every time I can look over that way, I ought to find... Oh, have I passed the edge of my basement? I have. So here we are. Here's the edge of my basement as it intersects my mining tunnels. That's pretty neat. I'm not going to reconnect them like I did upstairs with my nether portal, but I thought it was very neat to take a look and see how my quarrying and basement construction had affected my mining operations. And as you can see, I'm just barely off the edge of my mining neighborhood, and I've immediately run into that. So yeah, this is the passageway that headed up to my old home, and clearly it's relatively quick to get to my new one. I'm actually going to just take a minute and steal some stone, as I can, and I have wonderful tools for it immediately available. And this will allow me to, instead of using dirt to have surrounded this entrance up here that I made, will allow me to fill it in with cobble. And generally, if the option is between dirt and cobble, I'm going to use cobble. It's a much more durable material. So now, if I put the pressure plate there, then this becomes my entryway. I can put that torch back there. So yes, this will be a pressure plate. This will be an iron door. We'll make those really quick. This is probably going to be the last thing I do at this episode, but I wanted the opportunity to show you all of that. And I hope you're enjoying these episodes. If you have any requests or suggestions, please let me know. At the moment, what I'm preparing to do is replace my sorting and smelting systems, because while I have acceptable sorting and smelting systems, I don't have great sorting and smelting systems, and I deserve great sorting and smelting systems. They're going to be pretty resource heavy, what I intend to build, but I have reached the point where I'm capable of making them, especially now that I have that quarry running. I think that it will continue to gain me resources. Let me just take a moment. Nope, there's no overflow. I'm getting a lot of ingots. That's really good. It looks like I've gotten some more quartz. I'm getting more lapis lazuli. Good. All of the things that I expected to be arriving are. Yeah, there's the pressure plate recipe, and I need 2 of them. There we are, 2 obsidian pressure plates and an iron door. And I'm lazy, so I'm just going to take the extra obsidian and cobblestone and dirt and toss it in there. 31, that corner. Let me press F7, just so that I have lighting display available. Good, it doesn't look like anything here is dark enough for monsters to spawn in it. That makes me happy. So I need an obsidian pressure plate, and an iron door. There we go, folks. Now, to get to my ender portal involves coming down to basement 31, crossing the stairs, and going through that door. That monster spawner. I'm going to have to make myself a mob grinder sometime soon. I was so excited to get this, and I've made much more use of the gravity gun. Okay, folks, I'm going to go. I'll see you next time. Bye.